All right. Um, I don't know if anybody watches this channel anymore. I don't know if people still think about me. I have no idea. Um, I just decided just to go live, I guess. Um, I don't know what is up with people lately. Yeah, I don't know what's up. Um, yeah. Um, I mean, it's been a long time since I started YouTube back in 2008. Um, Started back in 2008, and a lot of things have changed since then. I sort of lost the motivation to make videos. YouTube isn't what it used to be compared to what when I first started. I mean, people were pretty tight when I first started. Now it's just what the fuck. I still watch videos. I might not leave a comment, but I still watch a lot of videos. Um, a lot of the people that I known on YouTube from a long time ago. Um, I mean, there's not many two of the there's not too many of the old school people left. As far as channels, I've been watching a lot of adventures made of scratch. I've been watching a lot of Sleeper Dude. I've been watching um, I was watching Liv Scafidi. I was getting into her and her boyfriend Travis with the LS engines and the classic cars and everything. And now I don't know what happened to that relationship. It seems like they split up, and now Travis has got his own independent channel, and yeah, and the woman that he's with now just seems more on his radar screen. It's not like Liv, who would just he would be at a junkyard and she'd just be prancing around like a little princess and stuff. But this new girl that he's with, his wife now, Jessie, she seems um, pretty much on his radar screen. Um, yeah, I don't. Matter of fact, I watched Tyler's latest video, whatever his channel's name is now. He got that new toolbox. Congratulations. Um, he was talking about he doesn't spend his money foolishly, and yeah, it's hard, and kudos to him. Um, yeah, it's hard. I was ready. I was almost ready to comment saying, "Yeah, you went to the strippers bar. Um, um, you didn't like being at the strippers bar, but you probably were saying to that lady that was dancing in front of you, hey, honey, underneath your dress, you got some Valiants or what's that, dusters or whatever, underneath your skirt, I was almost ready to comment that. I just didn't get a chance to. I was going to comment, but anyways, I started a different job in late November after Thanksgiving. Another school district, better pay. Still part time, but which sucks. Yeah, I've been noticing the checks have been better. Um, After 9 years working at the last district, I got some pretty good references over there because yeah, I was on top of things and I did a really good job. And the references I got from there helped me get this new job, uh, which is awesome. And I'm still pretty good friends with the people from my old job. I attended the Christmas party over there, even though I wasn't working for that district anymore. I just made time to go to this Christmas party, and yeah, it was pretty cool. And I still text my former coworkers back every so often. Um, yeah, um, yeah. I mean, yeah, back then. Yeah, thank you for the compliment. Back then, when I first started in '08, I was a little reckless. If I had a little bit more better content looking back on it, I probably could have been higher up on YouTube. Um, but yeah, that's life. I mean, yeah, I mean, YouTube was fun back then. There was a lot of people that were pretty close together, and then over time things just got worse. And I mean, back then, you would watch a video, you could watch it straight through, no ads or nothing. I was watching a couple videos today. It was like 2 ads per break. I'm like, holy shit. Jesus. Um, I mean, I make videos every so often. I got a plan to make a video. How to I decided to make a video on how to create a homeowner's toolkit for doing like homeowner repairs around the house. I'll get to that one of these days. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll get to that one of these days. Yeah, my great truck, the great Silverado that I made a video of a while back. That last year, was not last year, but the fall before, I got a new box for it at LKQ because the wheel wells were just getting worse every year. The rust on the quarters of the box were just rising up and up, and I was getting my shirt snagged on that damn box every time I would walk past it sometimes. And LKQ as a website, RLKQ in southeastern Wisconsin. They got a website, so I looked on there, and I happened to find a halfway decent box. It was rusty. I mean, don't get me wrong, but the wheel wells are perfect, um, which was really rare, and it didn't have that plastic crap that. Like the more fancier, like Z71 trucks, like my red one has, all that plastic. It didn't have that on there. And I bought it and I installed it. And just this last fall, I was making a quick run before work, and I was at a stoplight. No, I wasn't at a stoplight. I was like outside of an intersection. I was last in a row of cars, and there was this semi driver that tried to make a left turn around me, and he didn't take the left turn really well and smacked the quarter panel. And I only had liability on the truck, so as far as insurance, I was screwed. And I didn't get his information. Um, I was kind of a loss for that. I mean, I may have been stupid not going after the guy, but it is what it is. I got to get another box and another bumper for it. The bumper was pretty smashed. Um, yeah, I had to, and yeah, I had to make the rear light. I had to get a new tail light lens housing, and I had to pound the quarter panel into shape so that lens could fit in the box, and that was quite a chore. But I had to get new lights back there so I could drive the truck legally. Um, I had to get a new harness because in impact, um, the light, the when the what was that when the tail ends got smacked, it pulled on the wires to the tail lights, so I had to get a whole new tail light wiring harness. Yeah, that sucked. Costed me $29 for that. But it is what it is, I guess so. Um, yeah, yeah, it's funny. During the winter time, before winter, I gathered like a few machines up, like small engine machines, just to like fix up over winter, and that would be my cash cow. But the winter's been so mild and so, I mean, we got snow on the ground now, but all the way up to like mid January, we didn't get any snow really. There was this really cold spell in December just before Christmas. Um, yeah, there was a really cold spell, and we were supposed to get some snow, but we got missed. But northern Wisconsin, I think, got slammed. Um, yeah, but otherwise, I just sort of gave up on it. It's not late in the season, but yeah, whatever. Um, Recently, within the past month, I tried out one of those aftermarket Tecumseh carburetors on my Snapper snowblower. The carburetor, it was, I mean, it had a good run. I had that snowblower 10 plus years, and it just started running rough, and I went to go start it to prepare it before the winter storm, and the carburetor right where the O-ring seals on the float bowl, that O-ring that goes around and seals the bowl. It was every time I would prime, it would just start puking gas out of that O-ring all over. So I was just like, rather than fixing this damn thing, I'll just order a new carb for it. And I did, and it's been pretty good. I used it today. There was this pile of snow across the alley that was bothering me, so I just went over there and did that really fast before I went into the house. Um, yeah, um, yeah. I've been trying to get the garage organized. I got tools all over the place, and I got a taller toolbox, an older one, and then last year around summertime, somebody in the neighborhood threw away a really beat up old rolling Craftsman toolbox. So I got two rolling Craftsman, two rolling toolboxes now. I'm just using that beat up one just for like my pile of vice grips and odds and ends, and the other one for sockets and stuff to keep the sockets organized. So yeah, I'm trying. Can't wait till spring. Ride the scooter. Um, got that scooter late in the summer, and I got to enjoy it, but I'd like to enjoy it now. I'd like to enjoy it soon again in the springtime, and I will. And I'll get the whole summer to ride around on it. So, what else? Um, yeah, it's just been taking it easy, staying warm. Um, yeah, still out there. Like I said, I might not comment all the time, but I do watch videos. There's rarely any videos of the old timers anymore that I was during YouTube's heyday. The ones that I knew, they're pretty much uh, just got bored with it and quit. But there's still a few that lurk around. Um, I mean, I try to make videos now that actually could help people, um, like the stove hinge video um, the stove hinge video and the faucet video. I got a lot of views and a lot of positive compliments on those. Um, yeah, I'm making more money working now, but everything just keeps on going up and up and up. And when I was at um, when I was at my old school that I worked for, just visiting, one of the women that I worked for, we were talking about the price of eggs, and I mentioned the cheapest around here is at the Dollar General. It's like $3.99 for a dozen eggs, which is cheap. A lot of other places they're more expensive. And she's just like, Dollar General eggs. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. If the world ends and Dollar General is your last resort to buy eggs, would you still reject Dollar General eggs? Jeez. Some people are just stupid. And that's another thing too. Smart versus stupid people. As I've been getting older, I mean, I was told by plenty of people, Craig, you're smart. And I was just like, whatever, dude. I don't consider myself smart, but being through life and seeing people and experiencing people, some people are just pretty damn stupid, and it's amazing how they could succeed in life. Um, One of the old full-time custodians at the last school that retired, he used to say, because every so often we would joke around about the teachers, and some teachers, they're educated but they're just too stupid, and some of the crap that we got to deal with. He used to have a saying, must be the education. um, as I asked him one day a long time ago, I was just like, what do they need a flat screen TV in the pool for? And he asked me, do you got a bachelor's degree? No. Do you got a master's degree? No. And he was just like, get back to me when you do. Um, and I remember just before he left, he was just like, I don't know how some of these teachers could get through life. I mean, they're educated, but they're just dumb. Um, and back before I quit, I used to watch Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune with the guys every day. Um, I had a lot of free time and got paid for it. I mean, that was awesome. Had a lot of fun watching Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. And I was just like, I wish we can get a bunch of these teachers together just to watch Jeopardy with us, because they're educated, and I felt like um, they would probably ace Jeopardy. And one of the custodians that was in the break room with us at the time, that joined us, he was just like, do you really think the teachers are that smart, Craig? um, yeah, but yeah, I'm just surviving the cold. I go to a lot of estate sales and stuff. I try not to look for things for myself. I mean, if I'm going to look for things for myself, I just look for things that um, could help me out. Like if I go to an estate sale, I always look for paper plates, laundry detergents, garage chemicals. I mean, garage chemicals. Yeah, that's a big thing. I remember just after COVID, I think or during COVID, I was at Farm and Fleet, which is kind of like Fleet Farm or Tractor Supply or wherever in some other states like you guys. I was at Farm and Fleet, and I seen the price of like cleaners, like carb cleaners, and I mean carb cleaners, brake cleaners, those types of cleaners, and they were up to like $6 a can. I can't remember exactly, but they really just rose. I mean, they used to be on sale for like $3 a can, and if you were doing the job, you happen to be shopping and just, oh wow, $3 a can. Let's pick up a few. And yeah, whenever I go to estate sales, I usually hoard that stuff. I got a shitload of chemicals in the garage. Um, Matter of fact, during we had a. I hate when the weather it's really damp and then it freezes because the locks on my truck start to freeze. Um, the driver's side one in particular, because that is facing the elements more than the passenger side. So there was this old liquid wrench can that I had in the garage. It wasn't an aerosol can. It was a squeeze can. It was a big can, a vintage can, but there was still liquid wrench in it. I just put that in the lock cylinder and gave it a few squeezes and gave the key a few turns, and it was fine after that. And it's still been fine. Um, yeah, a lot of these garage chemicals you can get in bulk. Like there was times I got like a whole like plastic container full of them or a box full of them for like $5. Um, and if they, a big problem I have is they run out of pressure. That really sucks. They run out of pressure and they don't spray, but I guess there's ways uh, to make them to help them regain pressure. But for that stuff that's losing pressure, for the amount I paid for it, it's no big deal. It's not like you paid $6 for a big can of gum out, and then you go to use it a year later, and there's no pressure in the can, and the can's like three-quarters full. Yeah, yeah. Things just keep on going up and up and up in price. All summer, I wasn't really eating any beef products. Usually, I would get a steak. Um, and now I've been finding deals um, after so long. I found a good deal on ground beef, and I bought a bunch of packages just to divide and put into like freezer bags, and I the first thing I made was hamburgers on the stove. That tasted good after not having it for so long. Um, I mean, geez, I mean the cheapest nowadays. Um, the cheapest I've been finding lately for ground beef is $3.99 a pound. Oh no, $2.99 a pound, and that's when I started hoarding it again. Last winter, I had a good hoard of ground beef. I really didn't have to buy any ground beef, and then when that supply ran out, I had the ground beef prices were so high, it was nuts. And yeah, not this Christmas, but not this past Christmas, but the one before. I usually had prime rib, and prime rib was so highly priced the year before, and finally this Christmas I got prime rib for $7.99 a pound versus it was a lot more. I can't remember, but this past summer, um, early spring into summer, I really didn't eat any beef products. It was cheaper just if you it was cheaper to make it was cheaper to go out to a bar and during taco night instead of making tacos at home. Because once you buy the ingredients and you buy the ground beef, you're out a bunch of money, and you could just go to a local bar and spend $1.50 a taco, and you buy. I usually eat 3 or 4, and yeah, those yeah, going to a bar. I mean, it was cheaper to go to a bar to buy the tacos versus making them at home. And I made them at home a few times already since ground beef prices have kind of dropped. Oh, here's another thing. Um, Eggs are high in price, but as far as chicken parts, I mean, drumsticks and thighs, they're cheap. Um, I want to try a few chicken recipes. I'm just waiting for my freezer supply to dwindle before I buy more. I really don't want to buy more. I see these prices and it's addicting. Uh, I mean, I love grocery shopping, but I just get too carried away. But yeah, prices are just everything's just getting up too expensive. And last summer, I mean, it would have been nice just to like take a trip, but with the gas prices, I mean, even looking for a scooter, a lot of those Honda Helixes, they were far away out of the area, and I really didn't feel like dealing with the hassle of pulling a trailer, renting a trailer, driving a long distance, and then driving back. Um, it would cost me like it'd be like paying for a plane ride, round trip to my destination and back. So yeah, Biden, what a flake. Biden, he was taking because gas prices went down. He was just like boasting about it, and I'm just like, whatever. We all know what's going on. I'm not going to get into that, but yeah, yeah. I was doing a little house cleaning, and there was a couple bowls I had to soak because there was some hard stains on them. I made brownies. There was some chocolate stains on one, and I made pancakes this morning. There's pancake batter on one bowl, and I was just soaking them. I was just taking a break to soak those, and I decided to turn on the YouTube live chat. Yeah, last heating bill. Holy shit. Really was a lot. It's pretty bad. Hopefully, within the next couple months, it'll get warmer and the heating bills what's that, will subside. So, yeah. Oh, 28 minutes. Well, um, yeah, I got that riding lawnmower, that Ace. I didn't use it last summer because I just couldn't get. I mean, it got spark, and I think the starter shot on that because whenever I use the starter, whenever I hit the key, the pinion keeps on getting stuck on the flywheel, and it just doesn't retract. I think that starter motor is not turning the engine enough for it to start, and I think that's the problem. Maybe one of these days I'll hopefully get another starter for it and put it on and see what happens. Um, yeah, I took the carburetor apart. It's in the yard. Whatever. Um, Yeah, I sell on Marketplace. I sell a few things every. I mean, the money's the spare change is great. Um, I made. Oh yeah, one of the recent scores I got at an estate sale was a vintage Kirby 505 vacuum with the original attachment box, and I paid $10 for it, and I thought it was a good gamble because this vacuum was from 1947 and it included that attachment box with the attachments. And for something that old that still has the original attachments, I thought that was a good buy. Um, it came with the original owner's manuals, and it was bought new in Milwaukee, and in ink it shows where the vacuum was purchased, what shop it was purchased, and the date, and all that. And yeah, and I posted that one on Marketplace, and I was just like, I'll help you with the shipping, but you're in charge of the packaging and pickup arrangements. I'm not packaging shit. That's up to you. If you want to have a shipping service come over here and pick it up, I'll be waiting. Just let me know a time and a day. I'll be waiting. Um, I had one guy from Stevens Point, Wisconsin, that wanted me to meet him halfway for that. Um, no way. And then when I said no, he was just like, "Oh, it's going to take a lot of money for me to drive there. The vacuum's going to need this and that and this and that." And I'm thinking, dude, you're buying a restorable vacuum, vintage vacuum. I mean, of course, it's going to need work with the attachment box and the attachments. There's ones on eBay that are without attachments that are selling for more, and I just want to earn a decent buck, and I'm not learn. I don't want to make. I'm not out there to make a fortune on some of the stuff that I sell. I just want to make a quick buck, and that's it. Let's see here. 20 years ago. Yeah, $5 a gallon. That's a lot. Yeah, I think we were climbing towards that. I think we were over 4 here in southeastern Wisconsin. Um, as for that election, that last election, yeah, we wanted Governor Michaels. We wanted Tim Michaels to be governor. He lost, but but for the senator, I'm glad Ron Johnson won again. That Mandela Barnes was just too flaky. He was just too flaky. I just didn't trust that guy, and the voting booths prove that. I'm not going to get into that. Cat's bothering me. Just had to chase her away. Friendly, but a little bit too friendly. um, I just need my space sometimes. Nothing. It's living a boring life, I guess, like everybody else. Sleep, go to work, get paid, pay bills, just try to enjoy the weekend. Um, yeah, the cold's been getting to me lately. I've been itching like crazy. I went down in the basement and adjusted the humidifier on the furnace. I do got a little humidifier in the in the living room that I've been using, and I think that's been helping. The humidifier control is a manual control. I got to adjust it to the temperature outside, and the temperature has been yeah, the temperature has been kind of wonky lately. Um, It's been going to freezing to 30 degrees, then to freezing again, um, and to prevent the air from drying up in the house, I got to go down to the basement and adjust the humidistat on the humidifier. Oh yeah, Thanksgiving Day. Let me tell you about this shit show. Um, I went to go take a shower after I got up that morning, so I can get ready for brunch at my sister's house. And I turn on the faucet to the tub, and I felt the water because that's what I usually do is I feel the water, and the water was just ice cold, and I immediately thought the water heater blew. So I went down to the basement, and sure as shit, there was water all over the place, and the water heater blew. And yeah, I messaged my sister, and she was just like, "Yeah, you could take a shower at my house." So I went over there and took a shower. Um, I never replaced a water heater before, and after looking at it, I decided to tackle the job myself rather than calling a plumber. Um, it's nice to save a lot of money. Plumbers ain't cheap. So I went down to so I went online and I researched water heaters, and I felt like the A.O. Smith was a good deal at what's that, Lowe's. I got the 9 year one. I really didn't want to buy like the 6 year or 5 year one because I want to I would like to get a little bit more mileage out of things. So I went with the 9 year, and it costed me $600. And um, I bought a bunch of supplies at Menards, and I went to Lowe's, and I got the water heater, and I had it installed within an hour after getting it down there. And I got the old one out of the basement that same night by myself. I loaded, I brought the new one down there, um, and then I took the old one out all by myself and installed the new one. So, oh yeah, and I watched some videos which really helped. This plumber, he makes videos in the New York and New Jersey area, I think, or Boston. Uh, his name is Steven. Uh, I watched him do some water heater replacements, and seeing his videos really helped me. I used his tip of pipe using pipe dope and what's that? He used pipe dope and um, and thread tape, Teflon tape on the water heater inlets, and I did that, and so far no leaks out of those. They've been pretty dry. Yeah, over 15 years ago, I replaced like half of the plumbing in the house. There was all steel piping, and then I converted it to copper. And after looking at the water heater, I was just like, I already did some of the plumbing in the house before. I might as well just tackle the job of replacing the water heater, and that's what I did. And one thing I did different was the gas line. Instead of using the rigid steel piping, I got a flex gas line because I didn't feel like dealing with all that rigid piping. I would have to um, gather up a bunch of like pipes and elbows and just connect it all together. And I didn't feel like doing that. I just got the flex line. Some people don't like that, but I just wanted the job to be easy. But I kept the old rigid piping part that was off the old water heaters. That was a shit show. But I knew that water heater was on its way out. It was installed in 2006, and it had a good run. 2006 to 2021, it had a good run. It was over. It went over the expected warranty years. I think it was 12 years, and it went past that. So got the same 40 gallon, 40,000 BTU. I don't know what the new one was. Yeah, in my garage, I got a lawnmower from 1961. I never made a video of it. I had it for 2, 3 years now. There's no spark on it. Um, I think the points probably just need to be just sandpapered and cleaned because where the mower was, it was kind of like a damp area, and I imagine in that area, the points probably rusted, and they probably just need to be cleaned. So one of these years, once if I get around to it, if I make the time, I'll um, fix that one up. And I got that lawnmower for $5. It was an estate sale company that was dealing with that sale, and it was the last day of the sale, and they were just like practically giving stuff away. Like I got that lawnmower for $5, and there was that rototiller in there too. I should have offered them some money for that. I saw the original owner's manual in the basement for that rototiller. I mean, the rototiller looked like it was a beater. Uh, I found the original owner's manual in the basement for it. Should have picked that up too. But oh well. I always make mistakes like that. Um, you think you have second chances. You just reject something. Something's for sale. You reject it, and then you regret it. Deal with that all the time. Yeah, I want to make a work area in the basement so I could work on stuff, a workbench. Um, the local True Value in my city, they're going through a change of they're going through a change of ownership. The business was already sold, and they're doing a 50% off sale right now. And that True Value store, it's been open since 1978, I think. Um, I mean, that store really never changed inside from when I was a kid. I mean, it was still the same old True Value. Of course, the stock's been. I mean, of course, they had new stock throughout the years, but as far as like the decor and stuff, the whole fixtures and all that, um, it was still the same from when I was a kid. And this new owner, he's not a True Value person. He's gonna change the business over into an Ace Hardware. So he's like remodeling the store, new fixtures, new floor. Um, they still got the old employees from the True Value. I was talking to an older guy that works at that True Value as they were disassembling the store, and he was like, "Yeah, it's going to be nice in here once they fix it all up." And I needed some pegboard. I was for my proposed workshop in the basement. I was thinking of some pegboard, and I saw that some of those old partitions in the aisles had pegboard on them, and I was thinking, yeah, should I ask? It's kind of an odd request because they were just tearing this stuff apart and throwing it out, and I go to that old guy employee. I was just like, I've kind of got a odd request. Could I have a couple pieces of that pegboard? And he was like, sure. So we took apart a partition, and I got a couple sections of pegboard, and there was a bunch of pegs that they were just throwing out. Gathered a whole mess of those, and I got those for free. So yeah, I'll be able to make a nice little work area in the basement, so I could work on stuff, especially right now in the winter when it's cold, to prevent me from getting bored. Plus, like during the summer, if I really need to, I can work downstairs in the basement because it's nice and cool down there. And yeah, lumber prices ain't cheap. I remember when the prices of 2x4s were high. I had some 2x4s sticking out of the back of my truck, and my brother was like, "You better put those in the garage because somebody's gonna steal them on you." But nobody did steal them. Um, I mean, around here stuff gets stolen, but it's not too bad. Um, of course, the scooter, my last scooter, the Honda Elite 80, got stolen. That's due to my negligence. I just sort of took the scooter for granted. I felt like nobody touched that thing in the yard for years. It'll be fine. But somebody stole it. Uh, Good thing the insurance granted the loss, um, and I was compensated pretty good for my loss. I basically got a rebate for what I paid for it, and for a while before it got stolen, I was craving something a little bigger, and um, I was just planning on just running the Elite 80 into the ground, just running it until it dies. And then somebody stole it, and before it was stolen, before it was parked, I was having a couple problems with it. The valve stem in the rear tire was leaking, and I think the carburetor boot, the intake boot from the carburetor to the engine was leaking again. And somebody stole it, and they probably thought they could probably fix it up. And somebody stole it, and they probably thought, oh, we could just hot wire it, and we'll be good to go. And good luck hot wiring that thing. Because with that carburetor boot screwed up, you're gonna be like hitting that start button, because with that boot leaking, it would be starting hard. Yeah, I made myself a pan of brownies tonight. I was in the mood for something sweet. Um, I have that sickness. My mother was a big sweets addict, and I inherited that trait, unfortunately. Um, I guess my oldest brother he's really into sweets too. Um, at work, they had these cookies that the teachers brought in, and these cookies had like sesame seeds on them, and I was thinking these things look like bird food. But I tried one, and they were pretty good, and there was lots of them were still in the box. I just ate one, and I just left the rest because I didn't need that shit around the house. Yeah. Yeah. I hate thieves too. Um, when the scooter was stolen, I wasn't really pissed about the scooter. I mean, yeah, I mean, of course, losing the scooter sucks or sucked. The loss of the scooter, I really didn't have a problem with. But it's the fact that I worked tooth and nail for that. Um, I mean, I I earned that scooter by I didn't really work for it. I just sold a bunch of stuff. I resold a bunch of stuff on Craigslist, and I just piled money away, and I just saved for that scooter. I just yeah I just I put money away, stashed money away, and saved for it, and I had enough money to buy the scooter and take the motorcycle course back then. I was just talking about that at work the other day to one of my coworkers. I was telling them about the motorcycle school. I really didn't have to ride a motorcycle. I just rode a Honda Metropolitan scooter in a ski hill parking area, and yeah, I just rode the Metropolitan scooter, and I used that to take the motorcycle course as far as being like on the course, not the classroom part of it. Um, the instructor, who was pretty cool, the instructor slash owner, he asked me if I wanted to learn on a motorcycle, and I was just like, no, motorcycling is just not my thing. I got a scooter. I just want to get my license. He didn't make a big deal about it, but I do know the basics, even though I'm inexperienced as far as riding a motorcycle. I do know the basics of shifting. Um, it's not like I've passed the course and didn't learn anything. I mean, of course, I did learn a little bit about shifting. Um, I mean, yeah, I mean, owning a motorcycle, I mean, it's probably cool, but I like the idea of just twisting the throttle and going. I always had this thought, this eerie thought of, I always had this eerie thought of being in traffic with a motorcycle. And let's say at the last moment, somebody pulls in front of you and you're trying to downshift and brake just so you don't crash and you end up crashing. And that's what my fear is around here because people drive like idiots. Um, being with the scooter, I could just twist and go and brake whenever I need to. And the new scooter is 200. It's 250 c. It's called 250 cc, but it's technically 244 cc, and it has a top speed of 72 miles an hour, or maybe even more. I wanted a bigger scooter just to do more touring, I guess, and it does ride really smooth. It's like night and day compared to the old one. I plan on getting a new rack for it. I want to replace the drive belt and that scooter compared to the old one. It's liquid cooled, and I want to change out the coolant in the springtime because that coolant that's in the radiator right now, it probably hasn't been changed since the Reagan administration, since it's a 1987 model. The battery that I took out of it was a new battery, but it looked like a one of those cheap Chinese ones that you buy from eBay or just as a quick fix. I plan on putting a new rear rack on it. Having a rear rack on the scooter with a basket. I like that with the old one because I could just get stuff at a store and pile it in there and then go home. If I'm going to another store, I would uh, possibly put it in the trunk, but it's nice just to like load stuff in the basket and have fun and just commute. Um, Another thing, the prices of classic cars. Holy shit, they're a lot of money. Um, price um, in Illinois on Marketplace. I think it was 2 years ago. I saw a '78 Chevy Caprice station wagon. It was in Sycamore, Illinois, at a trailer dealer, and and it was a nice original shape. I mean, it had a cracked dash and it had raggedy carpet, but It was a nice original shape, and that stuff like the dash pad and the carpet. Those cars have such a cult following. It's just like the box Chevys. You could get aftermarket parts for them, and it was for like 6 grand, and it had under 100,000 miles, just under 100,000 miles, and it had the 350 motor in it, and I was thinking, if I didn't buy my house, I would have bought that car sight unseen. And with that condition, right now, I mean, that car would be 8 to 10 grand nowadays, with inflation and everything, which really sucks. Christ, I remember those Caprice wagons back when I got out of high school in '93. I used to see the new car ads with the used car listings on them, and there would be those Caprice wagons like '87 through '89s. They would be like 8 or 9 grand, and yeah, that was a lot of money for those back then. But now, the lower the mileage, the cleaner it is. It's like over 10 grand. Yeah, and that Caprice wagon, that '78, was just, it was me. Um, I love that car. It was so nice. I would have bought that thing sight unseen if I didn't buy my house. But yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, these prices of classic cars, it's outrageous. Yeah, some collectibles too. It's like, to find like a nice tin sign, like, um, yeah, if you find a nice tin advertising sign, you'd be paying a fortune for it. But the thing with these estate sales, a lot of people that go to these sales, most of them are searching for the trendy collectibles, like, beer memorabilia, Pyrex records. Um, they're searching around for those trendy collectibles, cast iron pans, whatever people collect that's trendy. When the people go to these sales early in the morning and sit in line, they're after those trendy collectibles. But the thing is, you gotta think outside the box and think of what's not trendy that also profits big, like that Kirby vacuum cleaner. A lot of people don't see that, that vacuum cleaner collecting is a big thing. They may laugh at it all. Vacuum cleaner collecting, that seems kind of weird, but it's a big thing. A lot of people a lot of collectors on YouTube show off their collectible vacuums. They don't know what it's like. They fail to open up their eyes to what's being collected, and and because you think outside the box, if you discover these collectibles that ain't trendy that are really profitable, do not mention it to anything to anybody about it, because once people know about these collectibles that you know are valuable, then the prices will go up because people will know about it. So yeah, if you find something at a sale or whatnot that is not a trendy collectible, but you know it's profitable, don't say anything about it. Um, yeah, yeah. Just last week, I think it was, I sold a Schwinn, S seat off an old Schwinn Breeze bike. I got it at I got that Schwinn Breeze bike at the thrift store, the Valley Village, and I paid like $10 for it. It was before everything started going outrageously price, and the bike was just rusty. The rims were rusty. It wasn't worth saving. It had some good like odd parts, like the S seat, the S emblem on it was um, not wore off. It was perfect. I mean, the seat had wear, but that S part was in good shape, and the white parts on the seat were also in good shape. So I posted that for $10, and somebody nearby picked that up. He was looking for one for a project as a Schwinn project, and I'm glad I helped him out. I got rid of something, and I just by selling that seat, I earned enough money. Just by selling that seat, it paid for the bike. So, I mean, I bought the bike probably for $10, and I sold the seat off of it, and that probably paid for what I paid for the bike. Um, so, so yeah, I'm not out there to make a fortune on some of this stuff that I resell. I just want to just flip it for a nice little profit. I mean, it depends. It does not matter um, if I pay $5 for an item. If I try to sell for $20, it's not like I'm looking to make a big profit. Um, it'd be nice. I'm not looking to make a big profit. I just want to make some pocket change, maybe to eat out or something. Um, Save up for something else. Who knows? Yeah. Back when I started YouTube, I mean, I would comment on videos, but I wasn't in the mood to make my own videos. And then I saw Alex ADB140275. He made vacuum cleaner videos. This kid, and that inspired me to make my own videos. Um, Back in 2008, I made a video, and that sort of helped me as a person because I'm not really in normal life. I'm not really a sociable person. I'm kind of shy and kind of introverted, and making these YouTube videos just opened me up. Um, but I sort of did things foolishly. I sort of wish I could have done things different, but you live, you learn. Uh, but it's nice to see some people still on the tube from many years ago. People that have that were watching me when they were kids, and then they became adults, and yeah, that's cool. It's good that you're still lurking around. And yeah, like I said, I don't always comment on videos, but I'm still lurking around. And I wish there was a way you could like message other YouTubers still. Uh, there probably is, but I'm just too stupid to figure that out because YouTube changed so much. And I mean, back then it was nice to message other YouTubers, um, message other YouTubers and socialize, but now I just can't figure out how to do it. Like, let's say if Tyler has a video, if I see a video that might spike Tyler's interest, I could message Tyler, send him the link, and then he could watch it. Um, uh, but I don't know how to message YouTubers. I mean, I don't know if you can do that anymore. Back then, it was so easy. Um, yeah, big tech sort of took the fun out of YouTube. Um, well, it's been over an hour, so I'm going to finish up my housework and watch some TV and probably go to bed. So have a good night, people. See you later.